It started with a simple decision, a choice to reclaim my peace and escape the suffocating rules of a homeowners association. But I never imagined it would escalate the way it did. We had lived in the same HOA community for years, enduring the overbearing inspections, the incessant letters warning us about our lawn height or mailbox color. It was exhausting, emotionally draining. The tipping point came when they imposed a rule that I felt crossed a line: no backyard vegetable gardens. After months of careful planning, my wife and I had cultivated a thriving garden that was as much for our health as it was for the environment. But the HOA wanted it gone. So, we made the decision to move. No more HOA fines. No more petty rules. We were done. Little did we know, that would stir a hornet's nest. The day we packed our final box, the neighborhood's self-appointed queen of order, Karen, came marching over. She stood at the end of the driveway with her arms crossed, a look of stern disapproval etched into her face. "Are you seriously moving out?" Karen asked, her voice tinged with disbelief. I nodded. "Yep, we're done here. You can't just leave." She nearly hissed. "You have to follow the community guidelines. You're abandoning your responsibilities." I smiled politely. "Actually, no. I'm choosing to leave, and I'm not abandoning anyone. This is just no longer a good fit for us." She wasn't having it. "I'll have you know, I've already called the cops." I blinked, trying to process what I was hearing. "For what?" "I'm not doing anything illegal. You're violating HOA rules. You can't just leave like this," she said, raising her chin as though she were some kind of authority figure. By now, a crowd had gathered. Neighbors peeking out from behind their windows, some pretending not to watch but clearly invested. Karen, meanwhile, was on the phone, speaking animatedly with the police. "This is ridiculous. I hadn't expected anything like this to happen. I simply wanted to leave a situation that had become untenable, not stir up a fight." As I closed the door behind me, I heard sirens in the distance. They were coming. I had just finished loading up the car when a patrol car rolled into our cul-de-sac. Two officers stepped out, one a middle-aged man and the other a young woman with sharp eyes and an unreadable expression. Karen wasted no time. She stormed over, pointing directly at me. "Officer! This man is breaking HOA rules. He's refusing to follow the guidelines." The older officer raised an eyebrow but didn't say anything right away. He turned to me and asked calmly, "Is this true, sir? Are you violating community rules?" I shook my head. "No, officer. I'm simply moving out of my own home. I'm not breaking any laws. The HOA has no legal grounds to stop me." The officers exchanged a glance. It was clear they didn't know how to handle this. As they started to discuss, Karen kept talking over them, reiterating the HOA rules. I could see the frustration in the officers' faces as they tried to reason with her. Then something unexpected happened. A voice cut through the chaos, "Actually, Karen, you're the one in the wrong here." Everyone froze. I turned and there stood my son Luke, tall, confident and wearing his police uniform. It took Karen a moment to register who he was. Her eyes widened and for a brief second she went pale. "Luke," she stammered, looking up at him in disbelief. "That's right, Karen," Luke said, walking toward us. "I'm a deputy now. And I'm afraid you've just crossed the line." He flashed his badge, holding it up so everyone could see. Karen's face turned bright red. She sputtered but no words came out. Luke turned to the officers who were now staring at him in stunned silence. "This woman has been harassing my parents for weeks. She's made false reports to the HOA trying to get them fined for things that are completely within legal limits." The officers looked at each other, the tension palpable. "I'm afraid I'll need to take her statement," Luke continued, his voice calm but firm. "Karen, I'm placing you under arrest for harassment and making false reports. You've caused enough trouble for my family." The crowd that had gathered seemed to gasp collectively. Karen's face twisted with fury and disbelief, but there was nothing she could do. As she was escorted to the patrol car, she shot me a venomous look as if I were the one who had betrayed her. The officers, still processing the sudden turn of events, nodded politely to Luke and began to clear up the situation. For a moment all was quiet. My wife came out looking bewildered as we watched the patrol car drive away. I felt a strange mix of relief and disbelief. Karen had gotten what was coming to her, but it wasn't in a way I ever would have predicted. Luke came over to me, giving me a hug. "That I'm sorry, Dad, that I didn't mean for things to get so messy, but I couldn't just sit back and watch her bully you anymore." I smiled at him, my heart swelling with pride. "You did the right thing, son, thank you." The officers who had stuck around gave a few parting words of advice about our legal rights to move out without interference. They gave Luke a respectful nod and left. As the dust settled, I realized how much this had taught me. The kindness and selflessness of my son had brought justice to a situation that seemed hopeless. That in a world where people often feel powerless against the system, it was a powerful reminder that sometimes standing up for what's right can make all the difference. With Karen gone and the neighborhood returning to its quiet normalcy, I looked at my family and knew one thing for sure: no matter the rules or the challenges life throws at us, there's always a way forward with love, integrity, and a little help from those who truly care. And that in the end is what really matters.